Good day. In this video, we're gonna talk about variables. Variables is anything, or a variable is anything that can change or can be changed. In other words, a factor that can be manipulated or controlled or measured. So in Python, variables will be values that we will be using for different conditions. So in programming, mostly we will be having a lot of conditions. So variables will help us in solving those different conditions. Firstly, we're gonna see on how to create variables. So Python lets us create variable simply by assigning value to the variable. Let's say we have x, it is equals to 10, and we have y, it is equals to 20. These two are two different variables. So here we declare or we assign a value to the variable. So the 10, you assign it to the variable. The 20, you assign it to the variable y. So in Python, this will be used in cases where we want to solve different conditions. So we'll learn more on conditions, having if statements, switch, the list goes on. So in Python, let's say we have 10, then we have 20, then we have x, it is equals to 30. So this variable changes. It started from 10, now it is 20, now it is 40. So a variable varies depending on the condition given. So let's try to print the variable. So Python will print out the last value assigned to the variable x. Let's say I move the 30, it will print out the 20. So let's try to run this program. So it will give us 30. So this is how to create variables in Python. Now we're gonna do casting variable. The type casting is used to convert variable from one type to another. Let's see an example. Let's say we have x, it is equals to the string 50. So this is a string type, it is not an integer type, but inside the string there's a number there. So what we're trying to achieve is to get an integer value. Let's say we have y, it is equals to string 100. Then let's say we want to add this, so we will get the result as a string value type. So let's say x plus y, we will get a string here. So let's see this result. So we get a 50, 100. So but our goal is to get 150. So this is where casting will come in handy. So let's convert this into an integer type. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say int. Now I'm casting the string value. I'm going to say int. This is called casting. So let's try to print this and see the result. So it gives us 150. This is where casting will be used mostly. Get the type. So get the type, what it does is a function that returns the type of data type the variable is. So let's take an example. So here we have different variables. So we have x, y, z, and a. So the data type of x, it is an integer the data type of y is a float, the data type of z, it is a string, the data type of false, it is a bool or a boolean. So to get the type, this will help us to get the type of data type the variable is. So let's try to get the data type of x. So what we're gonna do, it is we're gonna use the function type, then we're gonna pass in the variable name there. So let's try to print in the data type of x. Let's run the program. This will give us an integer value, as we saw that x, it is 20. So let's try to get a y. It will give us a float. So the type returns the type of data type, or it returns the data type of the variable. Then for the string here, we're expecting a string, so we're gonna say z. Let's run the program. This will give us a string. Then let's do for the a value. So let's say a there, then let's run the program. This will give us a bool. So this is where the type function it is used. It returns the data type of the variable. Python, it is case sensitive, so it differentiates the lower and the uppercase letters. So let's take an example for case sensitive in Python. Let's say we have x, it is equals to, or rather, let's say we have a, it is equals to Alex. Then we want to print the value Alex, so we have to pass in, or we have to print out the variable a. So we have to say print a. So when you say a capital letter of a, it won't print out because Python, it is case sensitive. So let's try to run this. It will give us an error. It will suggest a small letter a for us. So let's try to fix that mistake. We have to put a there and run the program. It will give us Alex. So let's look at another case. Let's say we have a, maybe let's say name, it is equals to Alex. So let's say you make a mistake, you put upper case letters, same name. So this also will give us an error. So this is not defined. So this is case sensitivity in Python. So what you have to do is to put it on lowercase so that it matches. Let's try to run the program. So it gives us Alex. So Python is a case sensitive language. Now we're gonna look at the legal variable names. A variable can have a short name or a more descriptive name. So Python has rules for naming our variable. So let's look at the different Python variable which are legal. Firstly, we say a variable name must start with a letter or the underscore character. So let's do this. Name is equals to Alex. So here we started with a letter or anything. Here I can say big N or small n. So this is also acceptable, or it can start with an underscore and say name is equals to Alex. This is still acceptable. Another rule is that a variable cannot start with a number. You cannot say 2 then and say name is equals to Alex. This is an illegal way of naming your variables. Then we say that a variable name can only contain alphabetic characters and underscore. So we can say name underscore, let's say name surname. So we can say this is equals to Alex, let's say Mahlase. So this is also acceptable. But where you put our name and say minus surname, this is an illegal way of naming your variable. So Python will read this as an error. Another illegal, here we say Alex Mahlase. Another illegal naming of variables where you say name, then you leave a space there and say surname, and you say this is Alex Mahlase. This is illegal because here we have a space. So Python will ask this compiler what is happening with this space. So it is expecting something here. So this will be an illegal way of naming the variable. Let's look at comments. So comments can be used to explain the code. Comments, we use the hash mark. So let's take an example of comments. So for comments, we use the hash mark. So this will comment our line. Let's say this prints hello world. So what it does, it explains what the next line of code will do. So here we can say print hello world. Then Python, again, the comments in Python helps us for more readability. It helps the program to be more readable. So we can do multiple hash marks here and say this program, okay, we say this program prints hello world, and it prints this channel is nice. So this is what we can expect from this program. So let's say this channel is nice. So this explains what the block of code will execute to our console. And the command are used to prevent execution when we test the code. Let's say I don't want to print this out. So what I can put a hash mark there, so it will avoid this from executing. So let's print only one statement will be executed. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos, please like, share to your friends who might need this, and I will keep on uploading more videos on Python. Thanks.